Hey folks, there's a place in Europe where horse-drawn carriages still creak along tranquil village roads, yet the Wi-Fi signal is stronger than in Kansas. A country where women, renowned as the most beautiful in the world, speak 3 languages and manage everything from farms to families. That's Moldova, Europe's forgotten gem, where past and present blend so seamlessly you can't look away. All this and more will be explored in our travel documentary. Let's start our journey to discover Moldova right now. The forgotten gem in the heart of Europe. Moldova is one of the most fascinating and mysterious countries on the old continent. With an area of only about 33,846 square kilometers, smaller than the U.S. state of Maryland, Moldova is nestled between Romania and Ukraine. Though landlocked, the country surprisingly boasts year-round snow-capped mountains, a fact that surprises many. It doesn't have glitzy cities, but Moldova prides itself on having the world's longest underground wine cellars. Geographically, Moldova consists mainly of low hills and sprawling valleys, with an average elevation of about 152 meters above sea level. The country experiences 4 distinct seasons, with significant temperature variations. Winters can be very cold, sometimes dropping below -10 degrees Celsius, while summers can be warm, even reaching 35 degrees Celsius. By 2025, Moldova's population is estimated to be around 2.6 million people, primarily ethnic Moldovans of Romanian descent, along with communities of Gagauz, Ukrainians, and Russians. Romanian is the official language and is widely spoken in daily life. Despite a developing economy, Moldova is emerging with its organic agriculture and high-quality wine production. Furthermore, it has the lowest cost of living in Europe, making it an ideal destination for travelers or retirees seeking an affordable European experience. It's no coincidence that Moldova was once voted one of the countries with the most beautiful women in the world. In this country, roughly the size of Maryland, you'll encounter women with deep-set eyes, high cheekbones, slender figures, and fair skin. They dress impeccably, even if they're just stepping out to buy a bunch of vegetables. Moldovan women are not only beautiful but also incredibly resilient. They are the pillars of many families, as over 1 million Moldovan men, nearly 40% of the population, have gone abroad to work, leaving many women behind to care for families, work on farms, in schools, and hospitals. Moreover, Moldovan women impress with their education level and global outlook. The percentage of women with university degrees here even surpasses that of men, and many young women are fluent in 3 to 5 languages including Moldovan, Romanian, Russian, Romanian, as distinct from Moldovan by some, French and English. They possess a modern and open-minded perspective, often prioritizing education and career before settling down. Despite focusing on education and career, Moldovan women still value family and long-term relationships. They tend to be open to foreigners, leading to a significant increase in Moldovan women marrying foreign nationals. Statistics show that about 3,000 Moldovan women marry foreign citizens each year, particularly from Germany, Italy, and the US. Notably, on international dating apps, Moldovan women have the highest response rate in Eastern Europe. Want to know how to connect with them on social media or get a few tips to make a good impression? Comment 8 below and we'll reveal what you're waiting for. Believe it or not, Moldova boasts the strangest bus stops in Eastern Europe. Along peaceful country roads you'll encounter hundreds of bus stops, each with a design so bizarre it makes anyone question their reality. From UFOs in the middle of fields, solitary pyramids by the roadside, to glittering tiled domes resembling public restrooms from the 60s. These structures were built during the Soviet era, but interestingly, there was no common design. Each village created its own unique aesthetic style, turning the entire country into a giant outdoor exhibition where architectural art is hidden in everyday life. Today, these seemingly anonymous bus stops are sought after by international photographers and independent filmmakers like forgotten art treasures. Some have been restored, resembling small museums in the countryside. And if you ever thought art only existed in museums, Moldova will change your mind because sometimes a masterpiece can quietly reside where people just stop to wait for a bus. Have you ever heard of the language of birds? In Moldova, especially in remote rural areas, there exists a unique form of communication called Fluieratul, the art of whistling to convey messages over long distances. This isn't ordinary whistling but a complex language capable of transmitting complete sentences formed by adjusting the pitch, length, and intensity of the whistle. Shepherds of old used Fluieratul to converse with each other across valleys and hills, warn of danger, or simply share news. It's astonishing to know that this language can travel for several kilometers. Although today, with the development of technology, Flueratul is gradually fading, it is still recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage in urgent need of safeguarding. Imagine standing in a Moldovan valley, listening to the echoing whistling melodies carrying mysterious messages from the past. This is truly a unique experience, a testament to human creativity and extraordinary adaptability. Curious to hear the sound of the bird language? Comment 6. Moldova has a winemaking history stretching back over 5,000 years, highlighted by the world's largest underground wine cellar at Mălăștii Mici, listed in the Guinness Book of Records, and is one of the countries with the highest ratio of vineyard area to total land area. Moreover, this is truly an underground city with a tunnel system stretching over 250 kilometers longer than the distance from Washington, D.C. to Philadelphia. And the magical thing is you can actually drive straight inside through grape avenues with corridors echoing like a cathedral, immersing yourself in a space that seems to step out of a science fiction movie. Here, over 2 million bottles of wine are stored in perfect conditions at a temperature of about 12 to 14 degrees Celsius, cool and stable year-round. What makes this place special is how Moldovans see it as part of their lives. Many employees not only work at Mălăștii Mici, but also have lunch rest and even nap in familiar corners of the cellar. Most of the wine here is still made using traditional methods, naturally fermented and stored in oak barrels centuries old. No industrial lines, no loud advertisements, because in Moldova, every individual is a winemaker and every village is a giant workshop. Behind 5,000 years of tradition, every drop of wine tells an untold story. Every village hides its own winemaking secret. Curious to hear stories from Moldova? Comment 9 below. If Mălăștii Mici impresses with its record-breaking scale, then Craiova, another giant wine cellar, offers a true underground city experience. With over 120 kilometers of tunnels winding beneath the earth, Craiova is not just a wine storage facility but an organized labyrinth, with streets named after famous wine varieties like Cabernet, Pinot Noir, and Chardonnay. You can even see traffic signs and signal lights in these tunnels. Craiova is famous for its magnificent tasting rooms, each decorated in a unique theme, from the stately presidential room to the ethereal seabed room. Perhaps the most special feature is the National Wine Collection, which houses rare bottles, including some from Hermann Göring's personal collection, acquired after World War II, and even a bottle of 1902 Easter Jerusalem wine. Many heads of state and celebrities, including Yuri Gagarin, who is said to have disappeared for 2 days in this cellar due to his fascination, have visited and stored wine here. Exploring Craiova is like stepping into another world, a wine kingdom hidden deep beneath Moldovan soil. In this small country, nestled between Romania and Ukraine, there are villages where time seems to stand still, moss-covered roofs, creaky old wooden doors ajar, porches covered in golden leaves, and patient chestnut trees standing by the paths. Everything is there, but the people are not. Moldova currently has one of the highest emigration rates in Europe. More than a third of the population lives and works abroad, mainly in Italy, Germany, and Russia. As a result, hundreds of villages are gradually becoming empty. Some are left with only 4 or 5 households, mostly elderly people. Schools are closed, health centers have no doctors, and church bells still ring every Sunday morning, even if sometimes only 2 people attend. Strangely, these villages are not entirely abandoned. They are just waiting for people to return. Perhaps one day, a young family will decide to come back, repair the roof, and fill the long silent yard with the laughter of children. These quiet villages, seemingly silent, are imbued with deep memories of kinship and the value of connection to one's roots. In a country just slightly larger than the state of Maryland, where nearly 98% of the population enjoys one of the fastest broadband internet speeds in Europe, you can still encounter a horse-drawn carriage leisurely crossing a field of sunflowers. Though it may sound unbelievable, this contrasting scene is quite familiar in Moldova, a country where technology and tradition coexist on the same dirt roads. Interestingly, although over 60% of Moldova's population still lives in rural areas, where horse-drawn carriages are used to transport firewood, harvest crops, and even for wedding processions, you can also see people using the latest iPhones to live-stream videos of farmers harvesting grapes or share picturesque rural scenes with thousands of followers on social media. Imagine a girl in a traditionally embroidered dress, sitting on a horse-drawn carriage, video calling friends in Italy or Germany, while just a few meters away, a sleek black SUV tries to turn onto a village dirt road. If you've ever wondered if there's a place in Europe that feels like a blast from the 1950s, Moldova might just be the answer. A small nation choosing to retain its identity and slow down a bit, preserving traditions the world seems to have forgotten. Hidden in the town of Hincesti, not far from the capital Chisinau, is the Manuk Bay architectural complex, a true gem of Moldovan history. Built in the early 19th century by Manuk Bay Mirzayan, a wealthy Armenian diplomat and merchant who served the Ottoman Empire, this mansion is a testament to cultural and architectural fusion. With buildings showcasing a blend of Ottoman, classical European and local architectural styles, Manuk Bay was not just a luxurious residence but also an important political and commercial center. It is said that the Treaty of Bucharest in 1812, which ended the Russo-Turkish War and annexed Bessarabia, most of present-day Moldova's territory, to the Russian Empire was negotiated and signed within the walls of this mansion, although official documents state Bucharest. Today, after years of neglect and damage, the Manuk Bay complex has been spectacularly restored, becoming an attractive museum and cultural center. Visitors can wander through magnificent rooms, explore secret underground tunnels, and feel the echoes of a turbulent historical period. Visiting Manuk Bay is to touch a complex and captivating part of Moldova's past. There's a peculiar territory in Europe you won't find on regular tourist maps. Just a few steps from Moldova's eastern border, you'll reach a strange land called Transnistria, where time seems to have stopped in 1989. Officially it still belongs to Moldova, but in reality, Transnistria has its own government, currency, passports, and national flag. Here you'll still see preserved Soviet symbols, like an old statue of Lenin standing tall in the square, typical architectural blocks from that era, and Russian language signs along almost every street. But this isn't a movie set or a museum, it's the real life of hundreds of thousands of people. Transnistria operates with its own schools, offices, and infrastructure. Stepping into Tiraspol, the region's administrative center, you'll feel as if you've traveled back in time several decades. Old yellow trolley buses still run on quiet streets, and small shops sell mechanical watches and typewriters, while vendors count money using polymer banknotes that only circulate here. Life here is astonishingly simple. People grow vegetables in their backyards, sweep the sidewalks every morning, and teach children folk songs from their grandparents' time. In an increasingly fast-paced world, they choose to hold on to familiar traditions, preserving their memories and identity. Amidst the vineyards and fertile valleys, Moldova hides another natural treasure, the ancient Kodru Forests. Kodru means old forest in Romanian, and true to its name, these are dense woodlands with many centuries-old oak, hornbeam, and maple trees, forming one of the most biodiverse areas in Eastern Europe. These forests once covered much of Moldova's territory, playing an important role in the country's history and culture, serving as a refuge for national heroes and a source of inspiration for countless legends. Today, although their area has shrunk, the Kodru forests remain vital green lungs, home to many rare species of flora and fauna, including deer, roe deer, wild boar, and many bird species. The Kodru Nature Reserve, established in 1971, is an ideal destination for those who love hiking, exploring nature, and seeking tranquility. Hidden among the dense foliage, you can also find ancient monasteries like Capriana Monastery, one of Moldova's oldest, where monks live in harmony with nature, maintaining a quiet spiritual lifestyle. The Kodru forests are not just a beautiful landscape but also a part of Moldova's soul. Do you know about Martasaur? This is one of the most beautiful and iconic spring traditions in Moldova, as well as in Romania and parts of the Balkans. On March 1st every year, people give each other small talismans called Martasaur, usually a braided cord of red and white threads, sometimes with a small ornament attached. Red symbolizes love, vitality, and the sun, while white symbolizes purity, melting snow, and the rebirth of nature. It is believed that wearing a Martasaur brings good luck, health, and protection from bad things throughout the year. Throughout March, you'll see everyone, from children to the elderly, joyfully wearing these spring badges on their chests or wrists. Tree branches are also decorated with Martasaur, creating a vibrant and cheerful scene. Legend has it that Spring fought a harsh winter, and during the battle Spring was wounded, her blood dripping onto the white snow, creating the red and white colors of Martasaur. This is an ancient tradition, dating back over 2,000 years, expressing joy at the return of sunshine, life, and hope. A small but deeply meaningful cultural trait, connecting people with nature and with each other. You can't explore a country without trying its cuisine, and Moldova will not disappoint. First up is mamaliga, a traditional dish considered the cornbread of Eastern Europe. This thick cornmeal porridge is often served with smetana, bronza, and tender stewed pork. Traditionally, mamaliga is cut with a thread to maintain its beautiful shape. Next is sarmale, stuffed cabbage rolls filled with minced meat and rice, a staple in Moldova. Each sarmale roll is only about the size of a thumb but is simmered in a tomato and dill sauce, exuding a distinctive aroma from afar. This dish often appears at traditional holidays and family meals. Another must-try is ziama, a light sour chicken soup, often made with kvass or pickle juice. You can think of ziama as the local version of American-style chicken soup, but enhanced with unique flavors from green vegetables, boiled eggs, and homemade noodles. And an unmissable street food is placinta, a baked pastry filled with cheese, potatoes, or meat, only about 15 to 20 centimeters in diameter but filling enough to make you forget dinner. If you think New York pizza is the king of savory pastries, you must try an apple cinnamon placenta paired with local wine. It will surely be a formidable contender. The cost of living in Moldova is rated as one of the lowest and most budget-friendly in Europe, allowing you to enjoy an excellent quality of life here. In the capital, Chisinau, you can rent a fully furnished apartment right in the center for only about $250 to $350 per month. If you venture a bit further to suburban areas or smaller cities, this cost can drop significantly to around $180 to $280 per month for one person. Utilities like electricity, water, heating, and garbage collection are about $50 to $100 monthly, while high-speed internet is only about $10 to $15, unbelievably cheap for a European city. Eating out in Moldova is also a big plus. A meal at a local restaurant usually costs only about $6 to $8, while if you cook at home, your monthly grocery bill, including wine, will be around $150 to $200. Public transport costs are also low, with a monthly pass not exceeding $15. If you choose taxis, the cost will of course be higher. Additionally, other expenses are quite reasonable, such as a dental visit for about $30 to $40, and a gym membership for about $40 per month. Miscellaneous shopping expenses are around $100 for a month. In total, to live comfortably in Moldova, you only need about $600 to $890 per month for one person. This amount is equivalent to a week's rent in New York, but in Moldova you can enjoy a whole month of peace, cleanliness, romance, and authentic European wine. With these costs, would you choose to settle here? If yes, comment 1. If no, comment 0. If you've ever thought a European capital must be as vibrant as Berlin or as glamorous as Paris, then Chisinau, the capital of Moldova, might offer you a completely different experience. No skyscrapers, no flashy boulevards, and no McDonald's on every corner. But this place has chosen its own rhythm, slow, authentic, and close to nature. About 40% of the city's area is covered by greenery, earning Chisinau the title of one of Europe's greenest capitals. And you don't need to go to a park to see trees. Sometimes they grow through the roofs of bus stops or reach into restaurant courtyards. On cobblestone streets mixed with old concrete, Soviet-era trolleybuses still run regularly, while people stroll hand in hand, chatting animatedly. And when you sit at a small cafe, sipping an espresso under a blooming bougainvillea trellis, don't be surprised if classical music plays, because here, music is part of everyday life. In the evening, small alleys shimmer with warm yellow lights like in a fairy tale, leading you to underground bars where jazz music plays in a strangely quiet subterranean space. Not far from there is the Artico night market, selling handicrafts, antiques, paintings, and traditional pastries under sparkling lights. Locals flock here not just to shop but also to meet, chat, and enjoy street performances right in the heart of the capital. In a capital without McDonald's, you'll find artisan bakeries using clay ovens and roadside cafes where people greet each other with sincere smiles. Are you ready to experience a slower pace of life in Chisinau? We've explored 15 amazing facts about Moldova together. Thank you for watching our travel documentary to the end. Hopefully you now have a fresh perspective on this country, a true gem, hidden and waiting to be discovered, where old values remain intact amidst the modern flow. Moldova is not just a destination, it's a journey back to authenticity, simplicity, and hidden beauty. See you in our next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on other exciting adventures.